Hey guys, my name is Marta, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about Standing Heavy by Gauz, translated from the French The Book Payé. This is the first book I'm reading for the International Booker. I think I didn't announce it, but I'm going to be trying to read the entire long list of the International Booker, so stay tuned for more reviews. But when it comes to this book, this is a short piece of literature translated from the French and a book that tells the story of Osiri, an immigrant that arrived in France in the late 20th century and had to become a debut payé, which is the title of the book in French, and which is a word that basically stands for people who work in environments that force them to stay standing for the entire workday. He works in both a Camailleux, which is a clothing shop, and a Sephora, and in the book he talks about his experiences there as well as his experiences more in general as an immigrant in this time period in France. This is a book that intertwines chapters in which we get told Osiri's story and how his life conditions were when he was in France. He discusses how his relationship with his family was, his relationship with the people he lived with was, and how he interacted with the world in general, as well as how the politics of the time affected him and the rest of the immigrants he was surrounded by. The other chapters, however, are these very tiny vignettes of relating to the different people that enter the shop he's working at, and relating also the atmosphere that goes on in the shop from the time it opens to the time it closes. They are chapters that are basically structured like this, so you get a tiny title and then the description, and they are very funny and ironic, which makes them read very fast, but at the same time pretty repetitive, which in a way is boring, but in another way it really shows the atmosphere that went on in the shop and how things were basically the same day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, whatever. These vignettes really show the hypocrisy of some clients as well as the laziness of both workers and clients at some moments, and they even depict what they did sometimes to entertain themselves. It's a mix of scenes of leisure time where workers are having way more fun than usual, and others when you can basically see how boring and repetitive a working day at a place like that was. These also vignettes are sometimes structured more like dialogues, sometimes more like lists, and sometimes just as tiny paragraphs relating what was going on. And as I have just said, they are basically interesting because of the ironic tone and because of the humor that the author puts in them in order to tell this basically awful experience he had working there in a more funny way. These pictures also sometimes depict the racism that was present in society at the time and that is unsurprisingly still present nowadays. And they also talk about how life was at this time period. This is, however, a book that, despite its simplicity and its funny tone, discusses also major themes such as politics and how a country's politics may affect people, especially immigrants, and that is something that we do not only see from the very beginning, but we can see even more clearly at the very end when 9/11 happened, and it affected not only our main character but also the rest of the immigrants that he knew and worked with or lived with. This is a book that also, I believe, discusses the importance of staying close to someone, of establishing ties and small communities that may help support you while you are living abroad. It's something that happens between our main character and the person he lives with, and it's a bonding relationship the importance of which is mostly seen by the end of the book. So overall, what do I have to say about this book? I have to give this book 2 stars. It's not that I didn't enjoy it, I had fun reading it, and some of the depictions of what went on in the shops really made me laugh. However, this is not the most groundbreaking book I've ever read. In fact, the writing techniques used are something that is pretty in use nowadays, and this fragmented way of storytelling is nothing new at this point. However, something that I did appreciate about the book was how it depicted immigration and how it depicted this small community that it was created both within the shop and between Osiri and the people he lived with. I also really like how we discussed the family dynamics that went on between Osiri once he had immigrated and his family back in Cote d'Ivoire. It's a book that also shows how working conditions are nowadays and how they are quite a bit precarious, to say the least. Most importantly, I believe it's a book that really shows with its positive, ironic tone how, despite the hardships that one might go through, it's important to look at life through positive lens. And that is something that, although a bit cliche, is always fun to see depicted in novels. So yeah, I must admit I might not recommend this book to everyone, since I believe it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I do recommend it if you are looking for a short read that is going to discuss some serious topics with some humor, and that is going to show you how the immigrant experience is for someone immigrating to France, since most of the immigrant stories people read have to do with people immigrating to the US. So I think this is an interesting piece of fiction that might help you see how different it is to immigrate to Europe than to immigrate to the US if you are used to reading that type of fiction. I don't know what I was trying to say with that sentence, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you read Standing Heavy and what were your thoughts on it. Comment down below if you're reading the International Bookers long list, and if you have, please tell me what you've read so far and what were your thoughts on it. And subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. And I hope you're just amazing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!